Oh man. Hey chat. We live, man. We live, y'all. And this is some just, I'm telling you, the high class entertainment. Millions of people are struggling. So to get away from all the hard times, the sick times, the struggling times, you know, people are just going through it right now, man. But at least we can laugh at something. And this election has been very entertaining, man. It's getting very entertaining every single day. Trump doesn't fail to be just an amazing guy, a comedian that we all miss. You know, they're going to continue to wipe him completely through the mud. It's coming. You would think they would have stepped back, you know, from all the hatred and all the stuff they spew out on this man, you know, especially after this took place. Don't let them bury it, y'all. We are in a fight to get our country back. But after that took place, you would think they would, you know, step back. But after literally a week and these 2 weeks, they went right back at it, man. Right back at just spewing all this hatred against this man, calling him this and that. And he continues to just go in the lion's den, completely dominate. You know? Well, now we got to deal with, again, identity politics, gender, race, people twerking at rallies. This is what it's come to, man. All the pandering. Boy. And I told y'all, this upcoming August, be ready. Be ready. It's, like I say, man, anything could happen from now. And that's the scary part about it, man. Prayers for America. And with her campaign, I won't be surprised if the next free concert is Taylor Swift. If Taylor Swift walks out there singing, I'm telling you, because I know she's taking all this backlash from this ratchet twerk rally, you know, in Atlanta. So I won't be surprised if she switched it and flipped it and bought Taylor Swift out there. I'm just saying, what do y'all think? But Jesse, he had, oh man, this segment here is blowing up. A lot of y'all sent me this segment from Jesse. I mean, they almost had to get Jesse out of there. They almost had to get Jesse out of there, y'all. But hey, I hope everybody is blessed, man, and well, healthy. Praying for you guys' safety, your wellness, that you guys are just in a good condition right now, man. Right now, a lot of people are struggling. Millions of people are struggling, dying, you know, just fighting every single day. You know, we're living in the most darkest, disgraceful, sick times you could ever imagine, man. And people have been through a lot these last 4 years. You know, people have been through a lot. A whole pandemic. I mean, all kind of stuff, man. People can't afford nothing. Rates are higher than they've ever been. Making life decisions inside a grocery store. I tell you, man. Businesses shutting down left and right. So I wanted to send my love and prayers to you guys and your family. And we're going to continue to spread the love, have fun, keep it real, man. And we are high class entertainment. Yes, you've come to the right place. Y'all know I ain't going to sugarcoat it, man. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it, you know? So let's go and get into this, man.
This election's crazier than a soup sandwich. One president dropped out, the other was shot in the head.
A soup sandwich. How that soup sandwich taste, y'all? Y'all be liking them soup sandwiches? Them soup sandwiches. Soup sandwich. Can you give me a soup sandwich and then you go a little low on the sodium for me? Add a little bit of onion powder to it. Throw a little bit of them chives and those broccoli. What's that called? Them those little basil flakes on there. A little bit low on the sodium though.
Now you've got a female black Democrat campaigning for the white vote and a white Republican guy campaigning for the black vote. And the Hispanics are like, hola, over here. Trump flew to Chicago today for the Black Journalists Convention, first-time Republican nominee to do that in 20 years. Kamala was also invited, but she said she was too busy. But the guy who showed up was treated worse than the woman who ditched.
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense, and then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was wrong.
Mr. President, I would love if you can answer the question on your rhetoric and why you believe that black voters should trust you with another 4 years.
I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act?
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work, in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
That moment changed the campaign. Donald Trump ripped the news cycle right out of Kamala's hands. That exchange is going to be seen by millions of black Americans. It'll be seen by everyone. And how they react to it will decide the country's future. This is like the Megyn Kelly moment at the debate. Remember, only Rosie O'Donnell. It's going to leave a mark. They say half of life is showing up. Donald Trump showed up. Kamala Harris didn't. Donald Trump didn't have to go to the National Black Journalists Convention in Chicago.
He didn't have to go. He's been walking in the lion's den, man. He's doing what they're not going to do, man. He has been walking in the lion's den, y'all. For the past couple of this year alone, man. They continue to wipe this man through the mud. They continue to just completely try to take the man down. But he stands tall, man.
What just happened could even cost him votes. But he wanted to go because, as president, he wants to work for them. Kamala not showing up is taking the black vote for granted. If you're invited into someone's house and they disrespect you, doesn't matter who they are, what they look like, black, female, whatever, Trump doesn't tolerate disrespect. And as president, whether you like him or not, whether he makes you feel uncomfortable or not, that's the attitude you want in a leader. Someone who works for your vote and who doesn't allow the country to be disrespected. Might not look pretty, but it works. And his presidency proved that. Mr. Nice Guy Joe Biden and laughing Kamala Harris, politically correct, but cowards, won't stand up for our sovereignty or our safety. So what if Biden and Harris say all the right things and don't make you feel anxious? Country's a mess. Your feelings are the problem. These insecure people are so privileged that they're putting their own personal feelings about a president's vibe over their own countrymen's lives. People are being hurt in America by smooth-talking politicians. In that moment, Trump's not worried, does this hurt me politically? He's defending his honor. He's doing what he thinks is right because his policies benefited the black community more than Biden-Harris's. He doesn't care if you call him rude or racist if he knows he's doing what's right. This country's in too bad of shape to be so sensitive. Black communities are furious that Kamala Harris, a black woman, flooded their neighborhoods with migrants and showered the foreigners with welfare. And she didn't show up today.
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr. President,
they're taking the employment away from black people. They're coming in, they're invading. It's an invasion of millions of people, probably 15, 16, 17 million people. I have a feeling it's much more than that. And everybody's been seeing what's happened. The first group of people, the black population, is affected most by that, and Kamala is allowing it to happen.
Could Kamala Harris sit in front of an audience like that, a black audience, and justify pumping millions of migrants into their streets? They're not putting migrant shelters in the white dudes for Harris neighborhoods. They're putting them in the south side of Chicago. But the ABC reporter didn't want to listen and kept interrupting him. And Trump was a pretty good sport, even after they kept him waiting 30 minutes and couldn't get the audio straight.
First of all, it's very hard to hear you for whatever reason because of the fact that they have bad equipment, because I guess, this woman was unable to get the right equipment. But it's very hard for me to hear you, but I can hear every other word. It's very difficult, actually. I won the case, and it got very little publicity. I didn't notice ABC doing any publicity on it, George.
We cover you extensively, sir. I'd love to move over on to different topics.
I didn't notice you do any publicity on it at all. I won the case, the biggest case. This is an attack on a political opponent. I have another one where
sir,
I have a hostile judge.
We have you for a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different topics.
Excuse you, you're the one that held me up at 35 minutes, just so you understand.
We didn't know what was next.
Yeah.
And 2 days after that,
I cannot understand. Your microphone
I know,
is so
it is
muffled.
really hard for me to understand
it's just,
you too.
I can understand you perfectly.
Because she's closer.
I can understand you.
I'm happy to hear that, sir.
But I can't
really
understand, Harris.
I have a few more questions.
Because of the distance, and the mics are really in lousy shape.
In between technical difficulties, Donald Trump was asked about Kamala Harris and DEI, a political minefield for politicians, but Trump shut his eyes and waltzed right in.
Republicans on Capitol Hill have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the words
then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir,
of
I'm
that.
asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me, if you would.
I just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. She was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that she is? I think
somebody should look into that too when you ask. Continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some Republicans
really don't
have
know.
said?
I mean, I really don't know. Could be.
Would Jesse Waters have answered the question that way? Probably not. Is this going to help the Trump campaign? I don't know. No idea. At this point, we don't know how this plays, but people are going to be talking about it for months, and Johnny's going to be there for that. Trump touched a nerve with the media, that we know.
Is probably some of the most disgusting rhetoric I've heard at the presidential level. That Donald Trump believes that he is the arbiter of what it means to be black in the United States.
This was offensive. This was ignorant. This was graceless.
He came to use them as a backboard to score with the MAGA crowd to say, I'm one of y'all. I will go to their own conference and do everything but call them the N-word.
Does the media talking about Kamala's race help or hurt Kamala's campaign? We'll see. Kamala's mother is Indian and her father's Jamaican, and she's referred to identity in different ways in her political career, which makes no difference at all to me, but maybe it does to African Americans. I have no idea. These are uncharted waters. Trump told Kamala, you ain't black. All Democrats want to do is talk about identity, and when Trump talks about identity, they go nuts. They say DEI is great, and when you say you're a DEI hire, they say you can't say that. This proves Trump's not afraid of Kamala Harris and is not going to avoid issues. He's going to confront them. He's not going to change, even after dodging an assassin's bullet. The week after the attempt on his life, in the first 20 minutes of his RNC speech, when he held the country in the palm of his hand and appeared to have ascended into a higher realm of consciousness, we're seeing that's an impossible state to maintain. He's going to come back down to earth. He may have moments where he rises back into the political heavens and unites the country with calm wisdom, but those moments could be fleeting, which is why this country must take emotion out of their vote. This is a choice over leadership. You tune out the he said, she said, and use your natural gift of reason.
Politics are the most disgusting, nasty, it's atrocious what is said in politics. And the things that are being said on one side are being said on the other side too. And as voters, what we need to do is cut through all the BS, and you have to look at who do you think is best fit to run the country for the next 4 years. That is our job as voters. All of this stuff is a bunch of nasty BS, all of it. Who's best fit to run the country? You as a voter, that's what you need to decide.
Click here.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This thing is getting interesting every single day, man. What do you guys think? Comment down below. I'm wishing the best in all you guys' life, man. Millions of people are struggling, dying right now. It has been terrible these last 3.5, 4 years. You know? Just being real with you guys. But as you can see, man, it's terrible what's going on. And then how they just wipe him through the mud. They disrespect him. You know? It is terrible how they are treating this man. And I'm glad a lot of people see that. I'm glad a lot of people, never Trumpers, are waking up. Like, waking up, man. And they are now on the Trump train. I'm glad to see tons of Democrats, and even we get comments every single day, people sending us letters, emails, DMs, Democrats that are for Trump, man. Continue to wipe the man through the mud, y'all. And again, it's only going to get worse. And again, we don't know what to expect these next couple of days, weeks, months. Prayers to you guys and your family. Prayers for America, man. I love y'all. And hey, man, we are in a fight. Get our country back, man. Don't let them bury you. Do not let them bury you, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, y'all.